Hi, my name is called Beer, and let's start with Outward Definitive Edition.
This is an open-world survival game with souls-like combat mechanics. In this edition you will find both DLCs, new weapons, dungeons and also several life quality improvements. The game has only a mostly positive review score on Steam, but it doesn't do the justice. Most people who are giving a dislike spend 40 to 60 hours in game, and that honestly looks like some kind of masochism. If you don't like the game, just don't play it. Like Warren Buffett once said, always take the easy road and you will get there first. Anyway, Outward is like Skyrim and Dark Souls had a weird hybrid baby, and instead of abortion, this time they decided to keep it. If you like both games, why not? Outward has some problems, but in general it is a nice game. Remnant from the Ashes. This is a third-person RPG shooter. Here the world has been thrown into a chaos by an ancient evil from another dimension. As gamers on Steam pointed out, they just ripped off a plot from Neverending Story. That's a shame, but in general this is a great game. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be RPG Dark Souls with guns. Yes, that is a one word if you throw out the spaces between them, and I did so, sue me. So here as one of the last remnants of humanity, you must set out alone or alongside up to 2 other survivors, and then face down hordes of deadly enemies, rebuild and retake what was lost. The strongest side of the game is the various guns and weapons. They're really good looking and fun to use. You know how in some other games you get a nice looking gun, but there is no real satisfaction to shoot it? Well, that's not the case in Remnant. Also, people are praising the great co-op mode, so you can play the game with your mother-in-law and do some nice bonding together. Dead Cells. Overwhelmingly positive reviews should lock your attention even if you don't like pixel art graphics. And this game can stand strong behind the name of the style, it's true art. The game is really beautiful, just like you my friend, but graphics are just one side of the coin. People on Steam are saying that this roguelite Metroidvania is probably the best game of the genre. Along with the graphics, you will get great music and gameplay more addictive than potato salad. People are also joking that here using the machete and pistol weapon is the closest thing we'll ever get to Bloodborne on PC. And speaking about platforms, it should be an amazing experience on Steam Deck. You can also acquire it on Switch, but we all know that Nintendo is not very fond of discounts, so the Steam version it is. Dreamscaper. This is a beautiful action roguelite game. At first the gameplay is very easy. At least it was when I played the game. I felt no bigger challenge and all the creatures died from my mighty swings without any problems. I was like, hey, I'm really good at this game. The challenge began when I finally met the first boss. And the fight was great, like 10 out of 10 great. And also it was the strongest aspect of this game. But I was kinda surprised that the more I played, the more souls-like the game got. Easy peasy beginning was a trap. Actually, Dreamscaper is very unforgiving and difficult. I wouldn't mind, but most of the weapons here are slow. You know, like your sister. I felt like I was swinging them through the water or something, and you have to make perfectly timed attacks for critical hits. That is a hard thing to do with slowpoke weapons, but if this isn't a problem for you, then it may be the game for you. It has great art design, visuals, puzzles, and the gameplay is really fun. Blasphemous. This game is a true work of art. I don't think that any of you will argue with me about that. Art-wise, this is one of the best examples of Metroidvania and Souls genre collision. Interesting thing is that the major influence of Blasphemous' story and design was the religious art of the city of Seville in Spain, and also works of famous Spanish painters, especially Francisco Goya and his 200-year-old painting called A Procession of Flagellants, or Flagellants, I have no idea how to say it. If you want some nightmares before bed, just Google Goya's paintings. They are as great as they are creepy. People on Steam are saying that the game has incredible dynamic music and amazing voice acting. Also, some dudes are seriously stating that Blasphemous was a gateway drug to a 2D indie platformer games from AAA Souls-likes, so it can really expand your horizons, but mostly here you will just die and die again. Elden Ring. The game is balanced for those who like Souls-like games, but it is possible to play for people without masochistic tendencies as well. The game is a bit easier than Dark Souls, but just keep in mind that despite that, it is really challenging and you will be dying all the time. Although this time it's an open world and you can go wherever you want. And the game doesn't hold your hand or penis, so you are free to go and explore various places. You may ask, how to know where to go then? Well, you will know, believe me. If you put your nose in the wrong area, you will die a little bit quicker than in other places. Anyway, the world is beautiful, enemies are really original, and you may not have a lot of fun here, but the atmosphere of the game will forever stay with you. Elden Ring is not something you can easily forget about.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Vast open world and intense melee carnage are right up the valley for everyone who likes Witcher games. Ghost of Tsushima is gorgeous. I was playing it for days and had a lot of fun doing various quests, slicing enemies in many pieces and adoring the beautiful nature. And by beautiful nature I mean everything except bears. They hop out of nowhere and show you that you are not the boss here, usually by killing you in one hit. Well, at least when you are still an inexperienced samurai ninja warrior, because later you will become a killing machine nobody can withstand. If you have never played the game, I can assure you that the satisfaction level after clearing an encampment of enemies is very high, especially when you die and then try again and again with various tactics and then finally you emerge victorious. That feeling is legendary. Asterigos, Curse of the Stars. In this high fantasy world you will discover the long-forgotten secrets, interesting battle encounters, interconnected maps full of places to explore, and an immersive story where every choice matters. The game is really fun if you like light Souls-like battles and can enjoy a bit of cartoony graphics, but not everything is nice. Game has no map, like at all, so you will have to remember all the places in your head. That of course creates another level of immersiveness because you will have to use your actual navigational senses you usually never use in games. But do we actually want that? I don't think so. Anyway, if you decide to obtain it, the game will take about 30 hours from your boring life. Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. An old and unspeakable evil stirs in the north, wings black as death, fangs sharp as steel, and a thirst for blood rivaled only by their insatiable hunger for vengeance. Yeah, that is a new ultimate enemy of your kingdom. As people say, this game is inspired by Game of Thrones, the Elden Ring, and The Witcher. Despite it being a 2D side-scroller, the feeling is actually there, especially because everything is narrated by Doug Cockle, legendary actor that lent his voice to Geralt of Rivia himself, so he will have to track down and defeat legendary monsters of this realm and be rewarded with rare resources and craft devastating equipment. But be warned, these colossal creatures won't go down without a fight. You will die over and over and over again, so make sure you like suffering. It's not for people with weak nerves, that's for sure. Achilles, Legends Untold. He will take control of a man with a really weak heel but with very strong everything else. The journey will take you to many different corners of mythological lands, where you will obtain powerful artifacts that will aid you in your quest. The game has a cool AI system that introduces innovative enemy behavior. Opponents have unscripted interactions with each other and are capable of coordinated attacks. Developers are also saying that sometimes your enemies are even taking advantage of their surroundings. Well, honestly, that should be mandatory in every modern game. If your adversary is ignoring surroundings, that is so old school. I think even pigs in Duke Nukem 3D could hide behind the walls, and the game was released in the past millennium. So Achilles Legends Untold is Souls-like, but not as hard as actual Souls games. Various Diablo-like action RPG lovers could play it as well. But of course, don't expect Diablo-like battles, here every battle is important. Well, at least they are made this way. If you played, for example, Sands of Aura, you may realize what I have in mind. It is a mix of genres, but I think it's really worth your attention. Clash, Artifacts of Chaos. From the very first moment I saw the game, I instantly realized that I'm seeing something great, something far beyond the games I'm used to. The art style here is awesome, and the game is great as well. I should probably start by saying that this is a story-rich, Souls-like RPG adventure game. You play as Sudo, a master of martial arts who lives as a recluse in the strange land of Xenozoic. When you cross paths with a small creature whose mysterious powers have attracted the attention of some evil lady, you decide to protect him, unaware that much greater forces are involved. But you don't care because you are awesome and everyone else just suck. They don't know that yet, so you are eager to bring wisdom. And by wisdom I mean bloodshed and broken bones. Your fists and speed are your greatest weapons. You will attack, dodge, stun, block or counter a parry to land a special attack. You can even switch to a first-person view to perform unique techniques. Each time it's up to you to seize the occasion to achieve victory. If this is not a hidden gem in its true essence, I don't know what is. If you like difficult and trippy games, this is a must. Curse of the Dead Gods. This game is obviously oriented for the fans of Hades, or as one commentator on Steam said, Curse of the Dead Gods plays as Hades and looks like Darkest Dungeon. Honestly, it's a fair comparison. So in this game you will seek untold riches, eternal life and divine powers. It will lead you to this accursed temple, a seemingly infinite labyrinth of bottomless pits, deadly traps and monsters. Well, the rest is self-explanatory. The game also introduces a cool mechanic of unique curses. They influence each attempt, putting a twist on every action. Although keep one thing in mind, you will have to parry a lot, and that souls-like mechanic sometimes is very annoying. Otherwise, it's a great game. 86% of reviews on Steam are positive. Hollow Knight. Here you'll explore twisting caverns, ancient cities and deadly wastes, encounter battle-tainted creatures, befriend bizarre bugs and solve ancient mysteries at the kingdom's heart. Game is hard and is often compared to Dark Souls. Keep that in mind before you fall in love with those lovely graphics. They are quite deadly. Although if you don't like bugs, you will get your chance to kill a few hundred of them, or be killed by them. Yeah, that is more likely. There are a lot of bug-like different creatures infesting these lands, and only you can exterminate them with your gaming skills. There are also plenty of good bugs as well, so I don't know what this game tries to teach us. I guess be friends with friends and be enemies with enemies.
Wisdom, yeah.
No rest for the wicked. The game is still in early access, so it is kinda rough on the edges, but it is made by developers of Ori and the Blind Forest, so not by some rookies. So here the year is 841, and as word of the king's death echoes throughout the kingdom, the crown passes to his arrogant yet untested son. So there are some rebels wanting to cut his head off. The land is on the brink of civil war. That sucks, but it can always suck even more. So an unholy plague not seen for 1,000 years has returned as well. What a coincidence, right? So the plague sweeps across the land, corrupting everything and everyone it touches. In all this turmoil, you embark on an adventure. Well, on a task to be fair, because you are sworn to defeat the plague at any cost. Well, it's always better to be a warrior than a civilian in a war, so kudos for you. You got this. Or not. Knowing you, probably not. No offense. Death's Door. Here you control a crow, some kind of bird Grim Reaper. Suddenly your assigned soul is stolen, and you must track down a desperate thief to a realm untouched by death, where creatures grow far past their expiry date and overflow with greed and power. Well, this place sounds like a parliament of every country. You will have a vast array of melee weapons, various arrows and powerful magic to overcome a fantastic bunch of beasts and demigods. The land is full of twisted inhabitants and countless secrets, just like Parliament. Anyway, here you'll experience a somber yet darkly comedic tale, uncovering the secrets beyond the flaw of souls, the role of the crows, and the origin of the potato salad man himself. Well, probably not the latter, I'm just kidding.
Or am I?
And meow. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and subscribe.